I try to balance my role as professor and activist in an ethical way, but the longer I am on public university campuses, the more concerned I get for student speech and the lack of awareness most students have about how their speech is regulated.
So, how do you feel about AD51?
I have no idea what AD51 is.
Don't even know what that is.
I honestly have no idea what that is.
The what?
Huh?
AD51?
Which is?
Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Nope, never.
Well, AD51 is our fundamental policy when it comes to expressive activities, sort of the contractual arrangement where we expound upon what those rights are and give some specific parameters within which students and others must operate when it comes to expressive activities.
My main concern is how AD51 is enforced, and it seems to be enforced capriciously. That is to say, when the university wants to enforce it, it does, and when the university fears it will receive outside criticism or outside pressure for enforcing it, it doesn't.
In spring 2008, student organizations protesting Penn State's use of sweatshop labor held a sit-in in Old Main. Students gathered in and out of the building, asking that President Spanier appear and speak with them.
Go up to Spanier's suite, we all know he's in there, and please encourage him to put his name on this very important document, to commit to using Penn State's moral and financial weight to champion the rights of the workers who make our apparel. I beg you, please do that.
Student groups have been punished for doing things that outside groups are routinely allowed to do. That's at the heart of my concern in the last few years.
Oh, okay, come on
in. The one thing I think a university should never do, if it can help it, you should never arrest people for expressive activities. So I'm glad I wasn't here for that experience because it wouldn't have set well with me.
Education, higher education is all about critical thinking. They want you to be these leaders that go out and challenge the immoralities of the world. And the fact that the people that you pay, the people that are educating you to think that way, that same institution arrested you for that, kind of bothers me a little bit.
But many people today believe that their religion will save them from the fires of hell.
This is a public university. Anybody can walk on campus, and they can not essentially do whatever they want, but if they have the free speech, they can stand up and read the Bible and talk, and that's cool. But the hypocrisy comes when let's say I do it, and because I'm recognized as a student, as someone who they can put judicial affairs on me, it's the possibility that they use that as an intimidating factor that, well, you're not them, we know who you are, we can easily, call whatever on me. So there's the hypocrisy in all of it.
Outside groups seem to have political leverage that students, faculty, and staff, particularly students and staff, don't have. Outside groups never get permits. They infract things like the size of the posters, affixing them to the ground, things that would get students punished, but for which they're not punished. The reservation process affects students negatively. Student groups are denied use of space, even though they go through the hassle of getting a permit.
So obviously you guys aren't a student group?
No, we're just we're on an outreach, an evangelistic outreach.
So did you guys have to get a permit for this, or can you just show up and?
This is free speech, public university, so this is public forum.
Okay, awesome.
The admittedly low-level university officials I've talked to about this share this concern.
There definitely is a difference. The difference is the relationship. Our students are our students. They were enrolled here, they're a part of the university community, they get certain privileges as individual students, they get privileges as members of student organizations, and to receive those kinds of privileges, they in turn understand that they have to abide by certain rules and regulations. One of the reasons that we do it this way, and we have these kinds of rules and regulations, which are common to universities like this, almost all of them have something that's nearly exactly the same, is that you have to be able to manage your finite resource of space, and there are times when expressive activity becomes very pronounced, very active, and a lot of groups want to compete for that limited space, and so we ought to have a system in place that forces them to jump through some hoops. I don't know that a whole lot of really good speech is spontaneous.
In 1999, hate emails signed The Patriot were sent to 60 black Penn State students, threatening harm and death. These emails continued for 2 years. Little had been done to stymie the feeling of unwelcome felt by many black Penn State students. Finally, a protest was held on April 21st during Penn State's annual Blue and White game. The following week, a March for Unity turned into a rally outside Old Main, where students, black and white, demanded change. When black student leaders decided to move to the Hub Student Union building for further discussion, President Spanier turned his back and went back into Old Main. The Village, as it has come to be known, was a week-long overnight occupation of the Hub Student Union building by 300 to 500 students. TheFire.org is a watchdog group concerned with defending and sustaining the individual rights of students at America's colleges and universities. The Fire rates schools based on the degree to which free speech is curtailed at the particular institution. Schools are rated red, yellow, or green, red being the most oppressed, green being the least. Yellow schools, such as Penn State, have one or more policy that encourages administrative abuse and arbitrary application. Prior to 2008, Penn State was listed in the red.
I think we just need to continue to be vocal and, take advantage of our expressive rights in regards to, how to get students more energetic about, getting that yellow to a green and getting more just students to be more vocal and be more expressive about things that they feel strongly about. For me, it's simple. I'm paying for, my college experience. Whatever you put into your college experience is what you're going to get out of it. I think students need to recognize that, this is your university. The quality of the university is not in how the university administration makes it, it's how the students make it.
So I haven't seen a lot of speech that doesn't happen around here because of AD51. I've seen a lot of speech that doesn't happen around here because people don't have an interest in the public issues that they otherwise might be expressive about. But I could imagine some circumstances in the near future where that could change. And I hope that we as a university will allow for maximum expression of those rights without compromising any of the larger interests we represent.
I don't know if I like Fire's green, yellow, red lights, but I'm less interested in what I like than I am in students becoming educated about these issues. Because if you don't learn about them in high school or at university, the chances are you won't know about them for the rest of your life. So my main function in all of this is to try to educate people or to help them learn together. Generally speaking, I think more expressive activity on a university campus is better than less, and I would encourage it in every way I possibly could.
So yeah, I think we got to find ways, we got to encourage students to look for something they're passionate about, to start their own movements, and therefore send a message that this campus is not a dry or dormant campus in regards to activism, but if we see something wrong, we're going to speak up, and administration can't say anything about that.